We've talked about the business. We've talked about the team, managing people, keeping everyone's creative energy up. How do you keep your creative energy up? So what do you need to do? What's your little trick?
Live restless, die rested. Same thing.
Exactly. How do you live that?
So I think restlessness is something that's been handed down for me from I think grandfather, mother, even my father is restless. So my mom is married a restless man, right? Obviously. So that's the DNA, and I think that will eventually be my demise. Also being extra restless when I'm too old. But coming back to how I use that. For me, it's all about, I think it's escaping something to do something more fun and then come back to that thing. That's how it's been with graphic design. It's never been a quiet moment in the office where I'm at 8 hours probably doing it. Maybe now it's slightly different from how it was, but it's always been a question of playing and gratifying myself with something that I enjoy doing and then coming back to something that's a challenge and then overcoming that challenge. So this other thing with, you might have seen the terrariums all around the office.
All over the place,
it's probably in the frame. So the terrariums also started out as a very, small thing where I was dabbling with picking up plants from the side of the pavement and throwing them into little test tubes just to see how they would grow over time.
But where?
I don't know.
Okay, wait. You pick up plants from the pavement. Have you done that before?
No, I used to.
So why did you? What made you even get a test tube and put a plant in it?
I don't know, man. Maybe I was just walking with my head down, looking at the ground, but I saw these plants, right?
Right.
And I just wanted to see how they would grow in like small spaces. So like alcohol bottles were like a lot, right? Like,
Yeah.
So I filled them with a little bit of mud. And this other artist friend of mine called Joyston, he comes and mentions to me, dude, do you know that these things that you're making are actually called terrariums? And he called them terraniums at that point, and they're on this Pinterest site.
Right.
So then I opened Pinterest and opened the gates up, the garden opened up to me, and I think then I started looking into how could I sustain something like that. So there were failed experiments, there were positive experiments, and some lasted for a very long time, for 3 or 4 years, and some of them are still going on for a really long time. But that all happened because I kind of got into I found out what it was and found out what some of these people were doing and got into the research of what are my different layers, why is there certain layers of carbon to keep the things fresh. So all these things of science came into the stuff, and now it's become a release system for me during work to probably just go bash a terrarium out and make one in bits and pieces through the day. So I have this other little thing to do. If the terrarium is done, I'm probably trying to do something else where I'm cutting out stuff and making a collage, or open up an old art file in between, or do 2 logos at the same time just to keep my restlessness running.
Okay.
Because you really, your brain starts sparking, the whole endorphin rush gets pushed when you're trying to do too much at the same time, and you're like, this jack of many trades. Sorry, what was it?
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades, master of none. I totally believe in being the jack of all trades, because even in our business in today's date, you have to do more than just sit and do graphic design. You have to be an art director at a shoot. You have to place a product. You have to, illustrate. You have to do everything, man. Right from running to the print shop, which wasn't a graphic designer's job back in the day.
Sure.
So I guess running after many rabbits is very good in that light. Yeah.
No, I like the rabbits. but also that I can see that restlessness, and obviously walking around your office, there are terrariums everywhere. I think in the back of shot there is 4 there, 4 more over here.
Yeah.
And that also points to a great interest in nature, right?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
And that seems to be also what your Instagram is full of.
Yeah. So I think, again, inspiration for design in the very beginning has been like, everything that you do is always found in nature. There's nothing that you can create that hasn't already been created. Right from, if you cut a tree ring in half, you see the layers of rings and there's concentric circles, and it's all covered in graphic design. Possibly everything that we see and imagine is covered in design as well, right? So for me, apart from it just being a very good inspiration for design, it's just been a place of solitude to be alone in nature, or just like in a quiet space where there's nobody around, where there's a little kick of a bird, or small sounds like that, to take a nice long trek into some place wet and hilly, and get into a fog and just feel all those forces is something very important to me. It's kind of more a spiritual feeling that I need to do it every now and then for a recharge. I need to go on these moss runs where I pick up moss and small plants which I come back and deposit it. So all these things are actually from the forest, most of the stuff.
Okay.
I don't like buying plants and putting them in. So I just have this great sense of belonging when I'm like climbing a tree or, sitting under a waterfall and doing something very, very savage, to put it.
Yeah.
That is expected of us, but we've, built ourselves these buildings and put ourselves in these chairs.
So I guess that's also where the name comes from.
Yeah, totally.
Terrariums.
Savage terrariums, where things are not from urban nature, but from, from the forest itself.
Interesting, because the way I see it as well for you is that you spend all your time being creative in something or the other, and then you get your solitude and your recharge from nature where you're alone.
Right.
But then you bring the solitude and the nature and everything that you pick up from there, the plants, and then you bring it back to being creative with the terrarium.
It's like, speaking of, it's like Fortress of Solitude, Superman's, where he collects things, Superman collects things and brings it to one place. It feels like, no, so for me, I figured out that I like doing certain things, like I like nature, I like design, and what has become that catalyst in between the two that makes everything happen is my motorcycle. I have a big love for bikes. So I have a biking group, and we all head out into the hills and stuff, where I take a little bit of detour and do all this stuff all by myself sometimes. So I really figure that my true love for things is like manifesting in my work, right from clients wanting me to build them a massive terrarium, or like I just came back a couple of days. I came back from an art direction shoot in which I had done something for a photographer which involved mimicking nature on a studio scale. And even the motorcycle stuff. You built terrariums for other people as well? Well, I built terrariums for clients who asked for it, but this shoot that I went for, it was to totally ape nature in a studio setting.
Okay.
I can't talk too much more about it.
No, that's fine. I'll wait for it to come out.
I have to be out soon. But that was a great experience, and also, so this whole love for motorcycles has been a very big thing for me in my life, and started off from when I was a kid. My uncle's riding ESDs, all that stuff, and it so happens that I got into the whole craze of it and biking to the hills, and packing all your stuff and riding through the hills alone. That nice sense of adventure, bringing back the moss, putting in the terrarium. So it all became part of a bigger thing for me, and. Even this interest for bikes and creating art for bikes has caught the attention of Royal Enfield, where Siddharth Lal from Royal Enfield got in touch with me and asked me, can you do something for us, and to meet up with people from Royal Enfield. So a relationship built from there as well, because I'd done an installation with the Royal Enfield in Nabha.
Okay.
So it was called a bullet on a wall. It was a whole bullet cut.
Cross section.
Yeah, it was complete Enfield cut, sliced. Which was a very good experience again. So everything that I love has been manifesting in my work in some way, and that's been keeping me happy, I guess.
I can see that. And with all this restlessness, you must have to keep yourself in good shape to be able to climb up and then keep doing this, right? I think that's So why don't you talk about that? Because a lot of people overlook the physical side.
Yeah. So Srinath, I believe in one very important thing, that every human being needs to move, right? Right from the time you're a child, and like I have kids, so I see them. Basically, if they don't run around in the evening, they're very cranky towards bedtime, and I have the same crankiness about me, right?
Okay.
If I don't run, if I don't climb a tree, if I don't work out, there's nothing being stimulated here for me. It's just something built up that I can't explain. I need that hard spent time to, a hard work put in for that endorphin rush. It can't be easily given to me. Which is why now I'm cutting off sugar and stuff like that, because I want it to be hard work to reach that endorphin rush. Chocolate cake is easy endorphin rush immediately. So I'm trying to reboot my system in terms of that, because it really works for me. And I can see that the days that I spend time doing my monkey stuff or exercise and all that stuff, it so happens that the following week is just a blessed week in terms of work. So I thoroughly believe in it. I totally put it out there for everybody that it's an important thing in a person's life, especially if they're doing a sedentary job like sitting in a chair and working.
Get physical, and that wakes your brain up.
It wakes your brain up,